Let me start off the video by saying that I apologize for not following up with what I said about waiting for release date to finish the game with the rest of you guys. I was trying my best. I honestly was trying my hardest, and I wish I kept off social media. But unfortunately, due to me wanting to damage control this game as much before it comes out, because of lies and misinformation just being spread for whatever reason about I do not know why people do this. I will never understand why people lie about something they have not experienced or, matter of fact, know anything about. However, I saw a lot of misinformation being spread about the game, so I asked my significant other to do me a favor, which is playing through the game for me in front of me. I have not played past Mission 9 myself. I did, however, played Ryu in training mode after the significant other made it through the game. I told her to, hey, like, go in training mode. Let me see if Ryu feels Ryu, just to be validated on what I speak of. This review will have no spoilers. I will not talk about any specifics of story. I will not talk about anything specific about bosses, their personality, the outcomes. There will be nothing of the sort. This is just a review of someone that's played through the game somewhat and has seen it to the finish. So again, apologies if I didn't wait to experience it with the rest of you guys. But the whole point of my channel is to damage control the release of this game and create hype, justified hype, not false hype. I don't like being brain dead, fan. So that's that goes against the channel too. Funny enough, but yeah. Um, I will not post anything. There's going to be no footage of the actual game. There's going to be no talk about any of the leaks. There's just not going to be any type of what you call it. Basically, it's zero spoilers. I'm talking about if this game feels Ninja Gaiden, and I'm going to dispute a couple of. I'm going to tell you guys some of the things you might hear online are lies. So, Um, if you want to keep watching, then go for it. But I would suggest listening for the most part, not watching it. Um, Due to the fact that I might switch to a channel on my YouTube or my Twitter to show something, and something might pop up. And because I always record these lives, there's no editing because I want you guys to see everything I'm seeing on screen. Every time I do anything, everything I have recorded has been live practically. Everything's on screen. There's no post editing. There's no pre editing. There's no during editing. There's nothing. Everything I see as a fact, you're seeing it with me in my video. That's the philosophy of my thing. Is that I don't talk about nonsense. I don't talk about fanfic, made up bullshit. Everything is like unadulterated facts in front of you, so we all get to see what everybody else is also seeing. So that being said, I can't control the algorithm of YouTube or Twitter. So if I switch to it and there's something there, I apologize. I might have to redo the whole video. So well, hopefully not. But yeah, keep your eyes away from the screen and just listen to my irritating voice. So the one thing I wanted to say about the game is that right out the gate, I, as a just a hack and slash fan, just as someone that exclusively has started playing hack and slash games, because that's what I started with. Well, that's a lie. I started with Tekken 3, but ever since I was 7, I've been playing DMC and Ninja Gaiden and just Bayonetta, God of War. It's like that's my jam. That's what I live for when it comes to video game. And as a action game fan, this game is a very very easy 8.5 to 9 out of 10. That's the rating, and if you want to dip out after hearing that, go for it. But on my personal opinion, the feel of the game, the feel of the combats, the stability of the game as an entirety, and the visuals of the game on your own screen, of course, is absolutely warrants a full mark. Like it is insanely good how this game feels. Um, Personally, I would like a little bit more impact on some of the hits, but the only way they could do that is to add more hit stop. And I already said that multiple times that I despise hate hit stop because it's always incorporated very, very wrongly. So, um, the game has as much impact as it's possible for it to also be comfortable at the side. So that's that. But the enemies react really well to getting hits. Um, like when you shatter their poise with gleam attacks or blood ribbon attacks, they like it feels like you just absolutely messed up their whole life. Like they stumble backwards, like whoa, what the hell happened? It's really good. It feels really good, like breaking someone's poise. Um, Guillotine throw, like all the actions feel great. The only thing I have a thing against, and it's silly too, because now that I think about it, was I always thought the UT animations for both of them were very repetitive and just samey because it just looks like they're doing normal strings. And then I recalled to the older games, and I was like, the only reason why UTs in the older games feel so like cool is because one, your controller is shaking like crazy if you have vibration on. Two, the screen is shaking even harder. And three, it's because the game adds like really nonsensical sound effects to it. It's like you splish, splash, like explosions and shit. And like meanwhile, that's completely unrealistic of what's actually happening. He's just randomly swinging. And again, my criticism was, oh, the moves look the same because it just looks like he's doing normal strings in a cutscene animation. But that's always kind of been like that. In two was the most unique because he actually like did different moves, but in three he practically only does like three different strings. The only one that's unique is his final finisher UT. So it's a gripe. It's like a nitpick. It's not really a criticism. It's like I don't like it this way, but it's always been this way. So it's kind of like redundant complaint. But yeah, it still feels great. Um, but here's an actual problem. Izuna drop against like strong enemies does like absolutely nothing. When I say that, it feels like Izuna dropping on normal. Actually, I should clarify that this is only a one time experience, normal mode. I didn't do anything else. I've still only played up until chapter 9 myself personally, but I have seen past it because I let my girlfriend play it. She's a monster in video games. She on the daily carries people in Final Fantasy 14, which I make fun of her because why the hell are you playing Final Fantasy 14? But not saying it's a bad game. It's just it's one of those things that's cool to hate on. But I joke around. But yeah, she's a monster. She actually used to carry my accounts on Destiny as well when I was like busy working and stuff. So yeah, I definitely give her props for being an excellent gamer. Um, and on the side, she played it. She knows how Ninja Gaiden feels. She's not as in depth with it as your average person when it comes to hack and slash games, of course, but she's very, very validated at being a good gamer. So, and I'm not just saying that because I love her. No, it's not that. But anyways, that's aside the point. She played past everything, and at certain points, I turned away from the screen. I just listened because I didn't want to like see anything either, so I can have some genuine reactions. But I did hear stuff, so yeah, I'm still trying to keep it as unadulterated as possible. But yeah, it kind of got solid because I needed to get to the end of the game because it's some people were just flat out lying, and I knew it. I just needed to see it for myself, so I don't spread misinformation myself. But yeah, that aside, back to the feel of the game. The the mission structure is really cool. There's very few missions that are short. I like that because there is a total. And I don't know if this counts as spoilers, but if you want, just mute the video for like 5 seconds. One, two, three. There's about 19 chapters in the game, and they're pretty long. Anyways, back to unmute. Hopefully, yeah. The length of the game is amazing. Actually, it's a, like it's longer than DMC4 if I'm being quite honest. If you combine it with the fact that if you're playing like me, if you shove your face against every wall and try to discover every like every nook and cranny, all the boxes and all that, which is something she got really annoyed at doing because I was telling her like, hey, go there, hey, go there. It's like, hey, it's like I'm playing the game, shut up. I was like, all right, fine, my bad. And yeah, but like if you cram your head against the walls and try to figure out every secret, then yeah, it's gonna take you exactly what they said it might, which is really rare of a developer to actually say the time frame of said game. But yeah, it took around 18 to 20 hours. Um, I might note that she did die a couple of times, but I'm just gonna pull her. I'm just gonna pull the rug from under her. Yeah, she did die a couple of times, so that'll take away a couple of precious minutes from the playtime. But yeah, But add on a couple pressure stand. But yeah, she did pretty good so far. Of course, one of the boss fights that gave her trouble was the obvious one. Again, no spoilers, but you can probably guess because they haven't been very secretive about that, anyways, throughout the whole year. I've said Yakumo fights Ryu, so that does happen. It's not a spoiler. It's been officially revealed since the first trailer. But yeah, the excellency of this game is that it's actually pretty long, and I'm happy with that because not only the first playthrough is going to feel around 15 to I would say 16 to 20 hours on normal. If you're discovering stuff, if you're rushing through it, you can probably get it through 10 hours. If you skip cutscenes, you can probably finish it in like 3 to 4 hours. No bullshit. But which is the normal length time for like every other NG2. Like you can finish Ninja Gaiden 3 in like exactly the same amount, like 2 to 3 hours. Same with 2. 2 has a lot of like missions, so there's a lot of loading times. But yeah, like 3 to 4 hours average time. Speed run, I don't know. Of course, I haven't started speed running this game. I don't think I ever will. But as far as mission lengths go, yeah, pretty good. There was like I think 1 or 2 short missions where you spawn in, kill boss, move on. But it's not as simple as that. And that's all I will say on that one. It'll be spoilery. Bosses, the worst boss in this game feels better than any boss, the best bosses in the other NG games. And if someone says Genshin, Genshin is not a good boss fight. Genshin is a training dummy. You can loop his ass infinitely, and that's not good boss design. He just gets bullied. That's not a good boss. It's a fun boss because just bully him. Feels good to actually bully something for no effort. But yeah, I like Genshin and Ninja Gaiden 3 better. He actually feels threatening. You can't really loop him too much. You still can, but it's not as bad as NG2. But yeah, the best boss in this game, the worst boss in this game feels better than the worst best bosses in like NG2, NG3. So yeah, it's good. There was one annoying boss, of course. There's always is one annoying boss because it was kind of a bullet hell positioning yourself, and there was a lot of space to change positioning. But the context of it makes sense. So it's whatever. You still fight it normally. It's not like it's like oh get in this like helicopter and shoot this tank or some shit. It's like no, you actually fight it still as a ninja. So, that's a good thing with it. Coincidental timing, we just got to a boss fight on the screen too. But yeah, that boss was fine. I feel like it's a knowledge issue for the most part. Uh, it's you have to know how to deal with most of the bosses in this game, so you can't be swinging on them randomly. That happens. So yeah, the bosses feel fantastic. It is platinum, so on again, I'm gonna say this again: normal mode, buddy. This is a normal mode experience. So I only played normal, and I didn't even fight that boss myself because it was a chapter something that was past chapter 9. I'm gonna say that again, no spoilers. And everything it feels good. Like, it feels good, and the fact that you actually have the variety you have in this game feels great. And like, not every boss was like a major deal either. No, you actually had a lot of side content, and I do mean side content. There's this will be a little spoilery, I guess, but like, those bounties they've said, the bounties that you can accept from the shop. Like, yeah, those actually add unique enemies to the map. Of course, again, we've seen this. They showed it on 3 different separate occasions, but like it doesn't end there. There's some bosses that get added too. So, um, I'll end it on that. One thing I'm gonna pivot off of because I'm talking about extra stuff. Um, I this tweet and I zoomed in so that nothing pops up on it. But yeah, this tweet it says I brought it up anyways. Aya's Ninja Gaiden 4 design has been revealed, and most people seem to be happy with it. The real shame won't be playable. My only gripe with Team Ninja is that with Ninja Gaiden 4 is that the only features the 2 playable characters. And I say, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but doesn't Ninja Gaiden always have only Ryu playable in the vanilla version of the game? Ninja Gaiden 1, it was only Ryu until Ninja Gaiden Sigma and Ninja Gaiden Black, which I'm wrong. Apparently, it was only available in Sigma. So, yeah, like I think Rachel didn't get added. NG2 was the same thing. Ryu was the only one in the vanilla version. Then they added Momoji and Ayane chapters, and nobody likes them. To be honest, like 99% of the fans complain about those chapters because there's a drag or some shit. I know they're some of the shortest chapters. NG3, same thing. You just had Ryu with one weapon. Actually, like that's that. So I said NG4 is for the first time 2 mobile characters, and Ayane is not a spoiler. The Platinum blog revealed it by accident, or by intention, I don't know, but it's been revealed. It's been all over the place. So I don't. If it's been officially revealed, I don't consider it a spoiler. But I know some people don't want to know about it either. So I apologize if that spoiled you. But again, it was official information that got revealed in the Platinum blog number 6. So again, apologies if you didn't want to know that one, but it is official information. So at that point, it's kind of falls on you to like tune in out of the stuff. I probably should have given a warning though. So that being said, that's that. This game is the first time that it has broken the trend of hey, two characters from the start of the game, and so like if you're trying to compare NG4 to anything, you're gonna compare it to the vanilla version of all the other to be quite fair, because the vanilla version of every single other NG has been really underwhelming in pure content. Two would be the best case because two actually had something that no other game did, which was survival. And survival was fantastic for the most part, and I don't know why they took it out past vanilla. But anyways, um, length is fantastic. Fights are fantastic. Boss battles are amazing. The feel of the game is probably the best feel. Again, if you're a big like screen shake guy, you might not think this game feels as good as the other games, but like this game actually feels visually better instead of just I'm gonna tilt your camera like it's a magic ball or some shit. Like so, I'll give this game more point and actually make it impressive looking than impressive feeling. And these sections again, the perfect time. The segue is just on screen perfectly. The segments where you travel, you just traversing through the game. It's not always the same. That's all I'll say. It's not always railing. It's not always wall running. But that's all I say on it. So very unique. You can already guess what Ryu does for traversal. So look forward to that fun little thing. But yeah, the game is very like they love the game. Like when they made this game, they love the game. The only problem I have with the game is that it's the same thing people have been complaining about since the get go. Is that Ryu doesn't have weapons, and that is a bigger issue than I initially thought. After playing the game, because certain things happen during the game that makes me question why would you even play as Ryu, and it's because like Yakumo has 4 weapons, right? So like Yakumo has so much more to offer. Like Ryu um loses his uniqueness a little bit too by the end of the game. Um I can't delve into that because this will be very spoilery, extremely spoilery. This is the end of the game. The only time I felt this game sour my taste of playing it was at the very end of the game. And just to make this clear, Ryu's integrity has been fully kept in the lore manner. In the lore manner, Ryu is still the badass, unstoppable ninja. He's still the top dog of all the ninjas in this verse. He's still the strongest creature, entity in this universe, in his own universe, right? Ryu has not been disgraced, lore wise. Gameplay wise, different story. People are spreading bullshit about Yakumo like killed Ryu. It's like no, that's a lie. They're never gonna kill Ryu off. It'll be stupid too. So I'll just say that right now. No, Ryu doesn't die. Ryu doesn't get killed. Ryu doesn't get disrespected. Ryu doesn't get beat. It's Ryu. They would be extremely stupid to treat their main poster boy of Ninja Gaiden like shit in a Ninja Gaiden game, right? Um, I would go as far as to say it's like it is almost a 1-to-1 DMC4 situation where you know how Dante recognized Nero for like being like, okay, kid, you got something, right? It's kind of almost like that, which again, trailer 3 proves that. It's said Ryu Till in trailer 3 again, official information. So before you yell at me, oh, why'd you spoil it? Official information revealed fucking 3 months ago at Gamescom. So again, like, don't get upset about this, but trailer 3, there's a line where Ryu says, "If you think it can beat the Dark Dragon, prove it." Right. So he is trying to test Yakumo. 100% is trying to test Yakumo. Of course, we know that Sayori said like he's Yakumo's the only person that can defeat the Dark Dragon fully. So yeah, Ryu is testing him, and Ryu does something very, very Ryu-like in a very honorable warrior way that he is. He does something very honorable in there. So the conclusion to Takumo, yeah, Yakumo, like you take over for now, makes sense and it's very respectful. The follow up in gameplay, however, was the part that made me go, why? So 99% of the game, I was down with everything. But when I saw what popped up on my screen after the final mission started, That's when I questioned. And I saw my girlfriend mess around with the moveset, and I was like, huh. I got depressed. I honestly did. Again, 99% of the game is bad. So if you try to focus on this one point like I did, then you'll be silly. You'll be very foolish to do so because I had to sleep on it for like 12 hours to be like, okay, I think I'm overreacting. And I was, but um, this situation is weird, and I will get into that situation after the game comes out. And only then will I talk about spoilers, and only then will I talk about every detail of the game. So a full review will come out much, 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 much later. Um, and I will only do a full review after I beat Master Ninja and cleared all the content. So for now, this very short review of just the feel of the game should suffice for now. But again, I'll reiterate that the game is a solid 8.5, 9 out of 10 for an action game. If DMC3 is a 10 out of 10, if DMC5 is a 10 out of 10, if Ninja Gaiden 2, whichever version you like, is a 10 out of 10, or NG1 is a 10 out of 10, then this game is a solid 8.5 and 9. For me, it's a 9. For me, it's a 9, but that one point that's not there, it's not there for a good. Not a 10 out of 10 game. It's not. Until Ryu gets more weapons. And I've said this on Twitter multiple times. Like, if Ryu doesn't get at least 4 weapons, I don't think I can enjoy this game as much as I could have. But I am also not a fool to think that you can cram that much content in the short span they have. So I'm giving Team Ninja and Platinum the benefit of the doubt that that DLC that's coming out later has more than one weapon that was shown per character. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Do I believe it? Kinda no. Not at all. I think it's just one weapon per. I hope I'm wrong. For the first time, I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's Ryu gets to have at least 4 weapons in total for now, and Yakumo gets his scythe, and we'll move on from there. Then we'll have like a balance. It will be great if Ryu gets 5 plus, and Yakumo gets his extra, so he will have a. Well, I'm not gonna say that actually. So he'll have more than 4 weapons. But yeah, 6 weapons for Ryu would be absolutely crazy. The lowest score I can settle on would be 4 again. But yeah, that'll be all because I think if I iterate any further on this, reiterate I should say, I might get into spoiler territory. But again, game's amazing. Do not let people spread lies. Do not let people spread bullshit. As I've always said, if you're on social media, take everything you hear with a grain of salt because for some reason there's a lot of tourists in the gaming community that are trying to sully whatever game comes out that has hype behind it. They do it with every game. Every game. Even it doesn't even have to be like a full release. It can just be like a DLC content. Like I mean, Tekken revealed a new character, and like everybody is like, "Oh, like she's this, she's that, and we don't like her. Like, what's wrong with us?" Like, buddy, we just saw 5 minutes of this character. How do you like assign such an assessment of this character already that you think like she's always going to be bad? So again, all I'm asking is that to keep an open mind and to judge things for yourself and not word of mouth. So I might say this game is 8.5 or 9 out of 10 for me, right? For you, it might be a 7. For you, it might be 11 out of 10. For you, it might be a 0 out of 10, right? Your own experience speaks 10,000 times more than somebody like me telling you, right? So always think for yourself and judge things by yourself. So that being said, that's ironic because I kind of had my girl. Still, the point is experience it yourself. Again, ironic, but yeah. I'll end it there. Again, this was supposed to be just a general thoughts on the game, the full game. And again, I will only play past chapter 9 myself personally on stream. I haven't played past chapter 9. I've kept that promise that I will not play it, but I have seen it. I had to. I really had to because there was so much misinformation. People talking about like Yakumo kills Ryu and all. I was like, what are you talking about? What is going on here? But yeah, that being said, thank you for watching. I will no longer post any other video about Ninja Gaiden unless there is another article or a developer blog. I will not be covering the launch trailer if there is one. I will let you guys watch that whenever you want. I would strongly suggest avoiding watching any launch trailer about any game because they spoil everything very badly. This happened with DMC. This happened with Resident Evil. This happens with everything. DMC 5 was like a new thing. Resident Evil, we can argue it's like an old game that just got remade, but like DMC 5 was very fresh, and they spoiled Virgil before he even dropped, and I was pretty upset about that. Especially as someone that worked on the game and that wanted to actually like see people's reaction to finally seeing Virgil after you beat mission 17 for the first time. It's like, no, we're just gonna spoil that in the trailer. I was like, what the hell, man? Why would you spoil that on launch day? But yeah, avoid launch trailers. I'm going to avoid it. I will not be covering that one because I'll be playing the game most likely by that. Probably earlier. I think embargo gets lifted on the 20th. I'll most likely be playing the game a little bit earlier than that. So, with that said, thank you for watching. Apologies if this was not to your liking. Um, but this again, like I would have loved to have a hand on with the game myself fully to open my mouth and talk about it, but I kind of couldn't. I couldn't let it. I had to. It was hard enough not playing it, but it just made it excruciatingly painful seeing people spread bullshit. I hate that. So, with that being said, for the final time, I'll see you guys very soon in quite literally a week. This game will be out in public. Everybody gets to play it, and I will stream the full playthrough. The stream structure is going to be I'm going to do a full playthrough of the stream, start to finish. I'm going to delete the save file. Like that's it. The save files gets deleted on release day, and I'm going to start from fresh, from scratch. I specifically avoided doing side content too, as much as everything's fresh. Everything I can be fresh. So that's going to be it. The first playthrough is going to be streamed. Then I'm probably going to cut the stream and then switch it to maybe hard mode or maybe doing side content because I will do side content immediately. And after that, um, we'll go through the next thing, and eventually I'll beat Master Ninja, and we'll see what we unlock. I don't know what unlockables are in the game. I know people asked, "Hey, is there like unlockable costumes?" I don't know. I genuinely do not know. I have not looked at anything past the mission 19, which is the final mission. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And I think it's cool that mission 19 is the final one because the DLC will add, I would assume, one more chapter, so you have 20 chapters in total. You know, kind of DMC like. That's kind of cool. But yeah, after that, if they add another difficulty or something, I'll obviously stream that too. But yeah, I'll start doing tutorials on the game of bosses, no damaging bosses, how to deal with bosses, how to deal with enemies. All those will be there for people to watch and learn. If you're bad at the game, if you're not experienced enough in action games, if you want to get better, or if you're good, you just want to get better, I will do tutorials on all this stuff. And I hope it's to your liking. And sadly, I have to wait. Those content is going to be like probably like a month away, a couple of weeks at least, because I have to beat the game whatever difficulty. So, we have a long, fun journey ahead of us. And come 2026, we'll have more weapons to mess around with, so more tutorials. But that said, you guys take care. Stay off social media as much as you can, because spoilers are everywhere. They are flooding everywhere. They're on Bilibili, they're on YouTube, they're on Twitch, they're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, everywhere. I don't even check the last two, but I still know they're there. So even I'm avoiding spoilers now. I'm deliberately just avoiding going on social media because it's just there's too much spoilers. Even for me, it's like I didn't watch any cutscene that popped up on screen. I was just on my phone watching Prison Break for the sixth time in a row, and I was hearing the dialogue going on in the background. I didn't look at anything. I was just hearing person A talk, person B talk, and that's my experience is still kind of like blind past mission 9, but based on dialogue, I can tell you that a lot of things you hear about Ryu being disrespected or killed, and it's just lies, just flat out lies. Just ignore those. Ignore those people forever. Don't ever listen to someone spreading lies. So, you guys take care. I'll catch you guys next time.